It is now 6:30 PM. I would like to call the Design Review Board meeting of May 2nd, 2024 to order. Before I proceed, I would like to take a moment to go over our meeting protocols for today. The South Pasadena Design Review Board meeting will be conducted in person to maximize public safety while still maintaining transparency and public access. Members of the public can observe the meeting via Zoom. Will staff please take roll?
Board Member Martin,
Present.
Board Member Hill,
Present.
Board Member Younger, excuse absence. Vice Chair Sai,
Here.
Chair Nichols, excuse absence. You have quorum.
Next, we move on to the approval of the agenda. Board members, do you have any requests for additions, revisions to the agenda? If so, please raise your hand.
No.
Seeing no requests, I would like to take a vote of the board to proceed with approval of the agenda as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Next is the disclosure by board members of site visits and expiry contact for items on today's agenda. Board Member Martin,
None.
Board Member Hill,
None.
and myself. The only one is the subcommittee that we formed for the one of the projects that I'm on the subcommittee for. But other than that, no site visits or contacts. Next is public comment for general items that are not on the agenda. Has staff received any public comment in person or via Zoom?
We have not received public comments in chambers. Guests on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment for items not on the agenda. And we do not have public comments via Zoom.
So the next item is the approval of the action minutes as submitted. All those in favor say aye, and all those opposed say nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So we'll continue to the public hearing, continued item number 3, project number 2538. Staff, do you have presentation?
Good evening, vice chairs and design review board members. Yes, staff does have a presentation, and thank you as well to the community who's come out here and our city council liaison. My name is Braulio Madrid, and today it is my pleasure to present to you once again this continued project located at 250 St. Albans. The project number is 2538 DRX NID. We'll start with a little recap of the property. The subject site is located on the north side of St. Albans Avenue, east of Blair. To the right is a close-up of an aerial of the property. The subject site is an irregular shaped lot that measures a total of 7,550 square feet and is developed with an existing 1,605 square foot single family residence and a 566 square foot garage proposed to be demolished as part of this proposal. The existing home was built in 1953 and it was designed in a utilitarian style of architecture. A little background on the project site. The Cultural Heritage Commission had a public hearing on June 15th, 2023, which certified the Historic Resource Evaluation, also known as the HRE, which allowed the project to continue on to the second phase of the design review. On March 7th, the Design Review Board got to see preliminary drawings of the original design. As part of the comments and guidance that the board members provided the applicant, they also elected to get a subcommittee involved, and the subcommittee met with the applicant on April 9th, 2024, after the applicant had revised the design to incorporate the comments of the commission. During the last subcommittee, it was determined that no further or extensive comments needed to be provided to the applicant, and the project could move forward with the continued hearing of today. We'll be looking at project renderings and elevations of the project. The previous will be to the right, the new will be to the left. As we go through these slides, I will make sure to discuss each in a little bit of detail. Moving on to the front elevation, some of the comments here were in regards to the slope of the roof, the proposal or location of the exterior materials, the use of the handrails and awnings, and materials that just seem to be placed at the wrong location. The applicant did a really good job at reconfiguring the exterior materials and incorporating those comments. So next we'll be looking at the west side elevation. The top is going to be the previously proposed, while the bottom is going to be the newly proposed. Next, we'll look at the east side yard elevation. This is where most of the comments were referencing the white plain wall. The applicant has enhanced this elevation to make sure to incorporate architectural details. And lastly, the rear elevation. As part of the revised plans, the applicant provided this illustration to show the massing and scale of not just the proposed projects, but in comparison to the adjacent property. Here we have a front rendering. And finally, we have the rear rendering. As mentioned in the previous design review board, a lot of the comments were specifically towards the exterior materials and design. There seemed to be an agreement between all the board members that the shell of the building itself seemed to be to scale and adequate in reference to the property and adjacent sites. And thus, with the proposed revisions from the applicant, staff recommends that the board finds the project exempt under CEQA guidelines, section 15303, class 3 for new constructions or conversion of small structures, which includes the construction of single-family homes, and approves the project 2538 DRX NID, subject to the conditions of approval. Staff is here to answer any questions, but we also have the applicant here available to answer questions as well. Thank you.
Does anyone have questions for staff?
No questions for staff.
Nope.
I don't have any as well. Does the applicant have a presentation?
No, the applicant does
Okay.
not.
Does anyone have any questions for the applicant?
I have a question for the applicant regarding the rooftop.
Can we invite the applicant to the podium?
Sorry. Hi, this is Yutong. I'm the architect for this project.
Hi, my question was regarding the rooftop, the highest rooftop level. Is that an occupied rooftop?
No.
It's just going to be mechanical equipment?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
That's my only question.
Okay, I will now open a public hearing. Staff, are there any public comments for this item?
We do not have any public comments in chambers. Attendees participating on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment on item number 3. And we do not have any public comments via Zoom.
Okay. We will now close the public comments and have discussion amongst the board. Would someone like to begin?
I think it shows a lot of improvement based on the last 2 times we've discussed this project.
I would agree. I think,
I would agree. I wasn't part of the subcommittee, so I'm curious, were you both part of the subcommittee? Were there elements that you found, all of your comments, do you feel like they were introduced into the project or they're included?
yes.
Yeah,
And I believe all the comments we had addressed during the public design review board meeting was also addressed.
was also addressed. Yeah, I think it's a huge improvement as well.
Mhm.
I think there's a better balance of the materials, the massing, doing a continuous flat roof throughout as opposed to a combination of gables and shed roofs. I
Mhm.
think that's very helpful for the overall design.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the architect really listened to our comments and took into consideration all the little details that we were asking for. So if there's no further discussion, does anyone want to make a motion?
I'm happy to make a motion to approve the project as submitted with the conditions of approval.
I'll second that.
Okay. Will staff please take roll call?
Board Member Martin, Board Member Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chair Sai,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay. Congratulations. This project has been approved, subject to the conditions of approval. This discussion is final unless any appeal is filed within 15 days from today. No construction or activity may commence during this period. Appeal forms may be obtained from the city clerk's office. Thank you. This closes the public hearing for agenda item number 3. So we'll move on to agenda item number 4. Does staff have a presentation?
Good evening. Yes, we do. Thank you, board members, vice chair, and community members and staff liaison for being here tonight. I am Tatiana Marin, and I will be presenting item number 4 on today's agenda, DRX 24-001, located at 2001 Via Del Rey. Here's an aerial view of the subject site. The subject property is located at the west side of Via Del Rey, located in the Altos de Monterrey zone. The subject site is a rectangular shaped lot that measures a total of 24,003 square feet and is developed with an existing 2,242 square foot one-story single-family residence. Additionally, the property was developed within an attached garage measuring 508 square feet. The existing home was built in 1965 and was a design in a minimal ranch style of architecture. The applicant is requesting a design review permit for an 847 square foot single-story addition. Additionally, the project includes the conversion of 460 square feet of the existing attached garage into habitable space. The project also proposes the conversion of 465 square feet of existing habitable space at the front of the home into a street-facing attached garage, and will be adding an additional 135 square feet for a total of 600 square foot attached garage. In addition, the project is proposing to add a 138 square foot detached pool house and a 427 square foot patio cover. Here we have the existing site plan. And here we have the proposed site plan that includes the proposed rear addition. A portion of the front will be demolished to accommodate for the 10-foot setback from the front of the main structure requirement for attached garage per the SPMC. Here we have the existing and proposed floor plan. The addition will convert the existing garage into a bedroom, walk-in closet, and construct a new attached family room and kitchen, which includes all new windows, doors, and roofing materials to match the existing character of the home. As a result, the dwelling will have a total of 3 bedrooms with a shared family room, a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, 2 office spaces, an indoor atrium, and an attached 2-car garage. Here we have the existing and the proposed roof plans. The proposed roof plan will continue the style of the existing roof. Here we have the east front elevation. The applicant is proposing street-facing garage doors. Neighborhood pictures have been provided displaying an adjacent property and surrounding properties that have existing street-facing garage doors that are architecturally consistent and compatible with the architectural style of the surrounding neighborhood. The applicant has also provided reasons within their project narrative for this request. The project as proposed will be utilizing the existing attached garage as habitable space to maintain the characteristics of one-story homes throughout the neighborhood. The new proposed garage to the front facade will maintain the parking requirement and the required setbacks per the AM zone. The proposed garage door can be found in the project plans in attachment 3 and in attachment 4 for the door and windows brochure. Here we have the north side elevation, existing and proposed. Now we have the existing and proposed west rear elevation. And finally, we have the existing and proposed south side elevation. The project proposes to enhance the existing architectural style on all elevations by maintaining and matching the existing roof and materials, installing new aluminum windows and matching the siding material to smooth stucco on the addition to the existing siding material. These materials are called out in the project plans in attachment 3. As proposed, the project complies to all applicable development standards for the AM zone, as well as the city design guidelines. Staff recommends that the board find the project exempt under CEQA guidelines, section 15301, class 1 for existing facilities. Class 1 includes additions under 10,000 square feet to existing structures. And that, and that the design review board approve project number DRX 24-001, subject to the conditions of approval, and to add the condition of approval that this approval and all right hereunder shall terminate within 12 months of the effective date of approval by the design review board unless otherwise conditioned and/or unless action is taken to secure building permits and maintain active building permits within the building division, beginning with the submittal of the plans for plan check review. This concludes staff's presentation. Staff is happy to answer any questions. The applicant is also present in case the board has questions. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, anyone have questions for staff?
Nope.
I have one question. This may be for the applicant. It looks like there was a courtyard that was introduced before it was covered. Is that correct? There's a courtyard that's open to the sky, but previously, maybe that's for the applicant. I can ask the
Are
app.
you referring to the atrium?
Yeah, the atrium area.
Yes, so that is a new proposal.
That's a new, okay,
Yes.
just wanted to clarify that that wasn't existing. I think I got it. Thank you.
I just have one question for staff. The pool house, we're reviewing that as well.
To my understanding, yes. Matt, would you like to?
Thank you, Vice Chair Tsai. Since the pool house was part of the plans, staff feel obligated to kind of include everything on the plans just for your awareness. I think staff can definitely solicit comment from DRB if you have any comments on the pool house regarding designs.
Okay. There's no other questions. Does the applicant have a presentation?
They do not, but they are here to answer questions.
And I'll now open public hearing. Staff, are there any public comments for this? item?
Vice Chair Tsai, maybe you can ask, would any board member have question for the applicant as
Oh,
well?
right.
Yeah, sorry.
Does anyone have questions for that?
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, I actually do have one question for the applicant. Regarding the design of the atrium itself, or courtyard that's referred to as the atrium, what was the reason for that?
I'm Julie Foreman, I'm the applicant or the homeowner. It was for lighting
Okay.
primarily. One of the main rooms in the house doesn't really have any windows or doors. The main door faces that courtyard, so it's to provide light for that room.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Do you have any other?
That's it. Sorry.
I,
That's my
I
only
have
question.
a few questions
Oh.
for the applicant. So, I noticed the new patio. I was trying to figure out, I was trying to look for what the material is for that. Can you tell?
Which patio?
The patio cover, sorry.
The patio in the back?
I guess
The patio, the proposed
Yeah, the
patio
proposed,
off
yeah,
of
the
the,
new.
off of the den is the same roofing material.
Okay,
So just an extension
okay.
with,
And the posts and like the structure itself, is it like, what, is it
The
wood
post-
or metal?
well, it'll probably be whatever the structural engineer requires to hold up the roof. And then if we can wrap it in wood to have it look nice.
Okay,
So
so it's gonna look like wood?
that's the end goal, yes.
Okay. And then I noticed there was you're gonna paint the new stucco?
Yes.
Will you be painting the old stucco
Yes.
too? Okay. And then my last comment, I just noticed on the pool house, all the walls except one is a siding,
Mhm.
and I don't see siding anywhere else on the property.
There's no siding on the pool house walls are stucco. And
Uh-huh.
then one wall is, lateral, wood siding. The side that faces the house
Right.
is wood. And then the others are stucco and breeze blocks. So there's a bathroom, storage, and then there's a section of the pool house that is just for the pool equipment.
Right.
So
Yeah, I know there's only one wall that has siding. So I was just curious why that one wall has siding and there's no other siding anywhere else on the property, like the main house or, yeah, what was that
you
like?
mean the wood siding?
Yeah, there was only just one, there's only one wall that has.
Well, there are two walls. There's one wall there and then there's one there should be one at the front entrance as well on the side of the garage. But it's primarily so that you're not staring at all white all the time from the house.
I see. Can you tell me which wall? I don't,
There anymore?
you see it in the siding on the
Well, the
main
wood,
house?
the small, it's
Oh.
basically 5 feet wide by, 8.5 feet, the wood siding. And
Uh-huh.
it's just so that it looks more interesting than just looking at
Okay.
white all the time. So it's just a design element.
So the siding, you said there's no more siding on the main house?
There's just, I guess it was taken out, but there's
Okay.
definitely the one siding on the pool house that
Okay.
is west facing.
Got it. Okay. So, those are all my comments. You have?
I don't
Ian?
have any questions.
I will now open public hearing. Staff, are there any public comments for this item?
We have not received any public comments in chambers. Guests participating on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment on item number 4. We have one. Lauren Mathers, go ahead and state your name and you have 3 minutes as soon as you start speaking. You can go ahead and speak.
Unmute.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Lauren Matner. I'm a neighbor of the project and welcome to the neighborhood. And I'm also a realtor in the area. Just concerned about what is the color of the project to get a more flavor of whether it actually fit in with the neighborhood. Because the angle of the roof, to be quite honest with you, is sort of a comment of the whole neighborhood that it's kind of an eyesore. It doesn't really fit in. So I think if we had more information with regard to the color of the project and more detail, it might help a little bit.
Should I respond?
Is he done speaking?
Yes, I'm done speaking.
Okay. So the applicant has a 3-minute opportunity to rebuttal.
So the triangle section, the A line of the roof is not changing. That's because we feel that it's important to keep with the style that's been there since the 60s. And the flat roof of the rest of the roof is also not changing. So that is also consistent with most of the other houses in the neighborhood. The material of the roof will be, of the A-line triangle will be shingle to stay with current materials, but to update. The color of the house will be somewhere in, whitish gray to be similar to a lot of the other homes that are in the neighborhood. So the dark brown cracking of the stucco right now will be fixed and brighter. So to address the A line and the color.
Okay, if there's no further public comments, we will now close the public comments and have discussion amongst the board. Would someone like to begin the discussion?
I'm happy to start us off. Overall, I think that the addition is actually very clean. It's very simple. It does stay within the architectural style of the house. It was interesting to just hear the public comment regarding the roof because I thought that that one is one of the defining features that makes the house interesting. So it's interesting to hear that the shape of not necessarily the shape, but the slope of the roof is a concern because it seems actually to fit in quite well, especially with that period. It's got almost like the 70s ranch style look to it. And so I actually think it's done very well. The one thing I did notice that I'm a little disappointed in, I would say, is the front door. The previous design really took advantage of the symmetry of the roof, and the front door and the window no longer kind of adheres to that. And it's a much more contemporary door with the window light next to it, as well as a smaller transom style window. And I just feel like that is a little out of place. I don't know if you also feel that way.
That was also the only comment that I would have had. I think overall, it's really nice. It's really well done. I think the courtyard actually does a really good job of kind of playing off of the mid-century character, because that's another attribute that you might find in a house from that period. So I think overall it's really great. My only comment was agreeing with you about the front door.
I think I would agree with you. Also, I agree with the atrium. That was one of my favorite parts of the addition. And I was thinking how it was so clever to like swap the garage with the living space and maximize the use of the property. And I know in the hills, there's a lot of garages in the front, so that actually is very adherent to the neighborhood. And I feel like adding the windows to the front, like before the front elevation had a lot of blank walls, and it was really well done with the garage doors and the new windows on on both sides. But I agree with the front door. Yeah, it just looks a little off.
Yeah. I think just addressing the front door
Mhm.
would work. The only other recommendation I have, and this, I don't know even if we should be commenting on it because it's really the interior of the house, is regarding the atrium, the courtyard area. There's a mechanical space right next to it, like it as part of it, and that just seems like it's a lost opportunity. So I'd highly recommend look at relocating that and to really take advantage of that courtyard area and put in as much glazing there so you can get that sunlight in the house as possible. Maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe it's for sustainability and to keep things cool. I'm not exactly sure, but that was just a suggestion. But other than that, I'd be happy to approve the project. I don't know if we maybe a chair review just for the front
Chair review.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, right?
Right, I think that makes sense. James? Yeah, okay. So,
You allowed to comment?
um, yeah, is that
Um,
okay?
We have no problem putting it to just a flat front door. We actually, I'm not sure how the door got changed in recent plans, but it's supposed to be a flat front door.
Okay, I don't think it's a flat, not the flat front door we're commenting on, it's the double
No,
doors.
there shouldn't be any, there won't be any glass on the door.
Okay, no, but I think our comment was it changed from a double door that was symmetrical to the roof to a single door.
Well, there's the single door is in the center, and we're unable to put like a half bathroom without eating into that space. So there's only, I think, maybe 5 feet or something, and to keep it symmetrical, you have to have just one door. So that's why the 2 doors got changed to just one large door, front door.
Board member, if staff can comment on that, because what the applicant is trying to do is to place a garage in the front, so the front entry portion actually be narrow, becomes smaller.
Mhm.
That's why it
Yeah,
used to be a double door.
see.
Now they need, I guess.
Yeah, I
It was
see.
originally 11 feet, and now it is 7.5 or 8 feet
Right.
to accommodate for a half bathroom to service the house.
But I feel like even if it's a single, for me, it's not necessarily even just the fact that there's the 2 leaves, the double leaf door in the original. It's that the door itself isn't really centered, and then you've got it's asymmetrical. It's not that it's a bad layout or design or fenestration for the windows and the door. It's just it feels out of place in relationship to the actual roof and the massing, and because it's nothing centered. And so I just feel like even a single door would work there, but take out the light, the glazing next to it, to the left, and center it on the roof.
Or put like a double door and center it to that space, right? Like,
Yeah.
Well,
'cause-
right now there is a window to the left of the door. So there's a window, and then there's the double door. So we left the window to keep with to bring, there's no other light really in the entryway. And then to have the door will be the maximum size of width that we can get in that space, with also accommodating the half bathroom. So it's really the best you can do with the space that you have,
I
and
think
to
you
keep
could,
with the window that's already there.
I think you could just make the side light, the window slightly narrower, and then move the front door over so that the single door is symmetrical. Like move it.
It's
If I'm
centered.
looking at the east elevation, if you move it to the left 6 to 12 inches, just so that the door itself is centered on the roof, and then just make the side light slightly narrower, I think
Mhm.
that would satisfy the symmetry of the facade.
Yeah, I think they were trying to keep the existing side light, but I think I agree. I think if you just put a new side light, a smaller one,
Oh, was that the plan, to keep the existing side
No,
light? Oh,
no, because it's cracked. So it's
Okay.
a new
Right,
window.
so
Okay.
you would, and you're reframing that door
Yeah.
anyway, so it's reframing this side light wouldn't be a huge,
Right.
like,
Issue.
Yeah.
It should be, yeah.
yeah. And I also feel like it's a little off, like it's not aligned, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about, or maybe it's just the way the door is
It
drawn.
just doesn't
Yeah.
look balanced. Yeah. It really doesn't look balanced, but I think it's minor. I think just,
Yeah, and it has like this, like the way it's drawn, it has this huge trim which versus like,
Yes.
no other windows around. I think that's why we're like really bothered by that door. It has this like huge trim around it, and the windows don't have that
Hmm.
language.
yeah.
Right, and the
Yeah,
garage door
style
even
of the door,
doesn't
yeah.
have, like, it looks like the garage door has just like a stucco return.
Yeah.
So I think that door was just drawn like off.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we're all commenting.
Okay.
It just looks, I think it's probably not drawn the way you're intending to
Probably
like
not.
design it,
Probably not.
because it's drawn with windows and you said there's no windows. And so I think if that gets adjusted, maybe the side light and a door to get
Won't look so
revised.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that will, and then do a chair review.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, if there's no further comments,
No further comments.
okay. If there's no further comments, I can make a motion to approve the project with a chair review with the revision of the front door and side light.
And staff add one more. I know one of the conditions board member mentioned will be the chair review. Also, another condition that staff forgot to mention is we also need to add like standard boilerplate condition about the approval is good for 12 months. We didn't do it for this particular project, so want to recommend the board to add that condition as well. The language would be saying that this approval and all rights shall terminate within 12 months from the effective day of this approval unless the action has been taken to secure building permit. So just adding one more condition if you want to make that motion. So it'll be two conditions. One will be adding a condition limiting the approval period for 12 months. Another condition approval will be the chair review from the front door.
Okay. Okay, so
Can I ask a clarifying question regarding that? Is that 12-month period, does it start from the point that the chair review approves it, or does it start from today's approval?
Actually, 12 months, typical when we approve the project, we'll have a 15-day appeal period. So the actual approval date is the day after the closing of a appeal period. So you've got,
15 days from today.
yes.
Okay.
So, and of course, the chair review will be just more between the project planner, the chair, and also the applicant. But the key of this condition is the applicant needs to submit to building plan check within that 12 months. It's not getting a building permit, so at least they have the 12 months to submit to building plan check. So,
Thank you.
Okay, I'll take a try at that. I'd like to make a motion to approve this project with two conditions. The first condition is a chair review to revise the front door and side light, and the second condition is to submit for permits 15 days from today.
oh no,
Oh.
so all I mean is the approvals is good
Approvals-
for 12 months.
The approval is valid for 12 months, 15 days from today. Okay. Will staff please, oh, someone has a second.
Oh, sorry, go for it.
I'll second it.
Okay. Will staff please take roll call?
Board Member Martin,
Yes.
Board Member Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chair Sai.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations. This project has been approved, subject to the conditions of approval. This discussion is final unless any appeal is filed within 15 days from today. No construction or activity may commence during this period. Appeal forms may be obtained from the city clerk's office. Thank you. This closes the public hearing for agenda item number 4. So then we'll move on to the next item, this discussion item number 5, the 2024 Annual Commission Report.
Thank you, Vice Chair and members of the board. As all of you receive email from our city clerk office regarding the upcoming Commissioner Congress scheduled for June 20 of this year. So in anticipation for the annual Commissioner Congress, we have to present every board and commission the accomplishment that you all achieved last year, as well as a work plan for the upcoming fiscal 2024-2025 year. So staff provide a draft for the board to review. To summarize some of the accomplishments, for example, last year, the board processed 17 design review applications, including residential and commercial projects. And the DRB chair and also vice chair process approximately 53 chair review applications. One of the main application two applications that DRB considered last year is definitely the former Bounce Plaza, and staff really appreciate board's comment on getting a project upcoming. I think everybody knows they're under construction now, so that's one of the main projects, significant achievement this board accomplished last year. And another accomplishment was there was a joint meeting with the Planning Commission to discuss the objective development standard for multifamily and mixed-use projects. And also, thanks to Vice Chair Side and Board Member Hill for the ad hoc committee to give us additional comments in addition to the meeting itself. Onto the work plans, and we'll continue to kind of refine and also working on the draft objective development standards. That's kind of the more kind of ongoing project that staff need to work with this body as well as planning commission. And another item is to be more finding way to continue streamlining the application process as well as the application itself. And staff totally understand that we need to find a better way to streamline the process, make it more efficient, but also provide an easy, user-friendly application. So for the project applicants, architect, it'll be easier to fill out the application and also submit their project to us for review. So staff just want to present those items to the board to kind of receive comments and it's kind of solicit feedback before staff finalize the annual work plan as well as accomplishment. And please let us know if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions.
Thank you, Matt. Does anyone have any comments?
No, the work plan looked good. From what I saw, I have a question just in terms of time frame for the objective development standards. It sounds like we might do another review this upcoming year. Is that the intent?
Yes, I know that this project was started a couple years ago in 2022, if I remember correctly. I think just want to be honest with the board because we still have housing element that need to be certified, and we still have a lot of feedback from HCD. So that makes this project kind of a moving target. So I think we try to continue to find a way to refine it, but also understand if HCD has any comments about what kind of comments that we should provide or we try to have any impediment, I guess, to housing development. So that's why this project can become a kind of ongoing, but I think staff definitely want to kind of conclude this portion of the project because we don't want to be ever ongoing project for years to come. So hopefully our goal is definitely to conclude this project in the next fiscal year.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So now we can move on to item number 6, comments from City Council Liaison.
Evening, Vice Chair, committee members, staff. Just relative to your committee, at last night's city council meeting, I'm not sure you're aware, one of the items on the agenda was brought by Councilmember Braun. A couple of council members discussed the current makeup of the city commissions and 2 committees, the 4th of July and the other committee, the Festival of Balloons. So that's the same one and one for the Tournament of Roses. So it was concerned, we looked at this back in 2022 regarding just the amount of staff time, staff costs for each commission. There was concern just how much it would cost. So there was a study done. I think it came out to about $650,000 between that and $700,000 just for staff time to staff the commissions during the year. The council members were concerned that back in 2022, we consolidated a few of the commissions. The Animal Commission, remember, Senior and Parks and Rec consolidated in Community Services. So we're looking at possibly a couple different ones. One was the 3 into 1 was the Natural Resources, Public Works, and MTIC, Mobility Transportation Infrastructure, in the commission. And the final was looking at you, planning, and one more. So there's a direction from some of the council members that the city manager come back before the Congress on June 20th, War Memorial Building, just give some recommendation of what you thought. I recommend, I said, before that's done, before I'd even consider this, I want to hear from the commissioners or committee members, what your thoughts are on trying to consolidate any of these. I want to know what your thoughts are on, the interchange. I brought up my experience back in, I think 2001, first on the council. We had a transportation commission. We had, before MTIC was around, we had a design advisory board or group, which was this $16 million or $19 million in Rogan funds that had been allocated by the federal government for alternative projects along the 710. Did a group meeting on that, what to do with Pasadena, Los Angeles, how do we spend this money as an alternative to a freeway. So we consolidated a couple of these. I was on one of them. And those meetings went from an hour and a half to 2 hours to 4 or 5 hours. I said, I want to hear from the commissioners, the committee members. I know we're trying to consolidate, save money, save costs, save staff time, because most of the commissions have 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4. Taking minutes, talking, expertise at every meeting. Some I could see, like maybe I really have concerns about putting you together with the other 2 commissions. Is that I can see public works, MTIC, there's transportation, there's infrastructure, natural resources sometimes comes in there, and sustainability in some of these. And yours are all related, but my concern again, I brought up when we tried this 20 some years ago, it just ballooned to your 4 and 5 hour meetings, and we had to go back to the original separating. So just some thoughts, and I hope you participate in any survey they do, because I see the importance of this. And I've been on planning a couple of times, cultural heritage. I'm always busy because I was night of coaching soccer, so I couldn't make that. I sat on one of the meetings. I would just be afraid one of your meetings might go 6 or 8 hours. Some of those cultural heritage, I'd get back from soccer practice or the council of governments meeting, and they're still going 3 hours later. So just something to think about as, again, the council's trying the budget. There's not a fiscal emergency. It's tough times for everybody right now. I said on the AQMD, we got $1 billion budget. We're looking at a forecast of reserves from 30% down to 8% in 4 or 5 years. Old Line Construction Authority, we're looking at the same. So it's happening all around. I just got a note. I sit on the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy for us, a state agency protecting open space, and just got the governor's directive. Stop all spending. Stop all money on acquisitions of open space immediately. So what does that mean for negotiations on a property? I don't know. We asked the attorneys. There's a vice mayor of Alhambra. He wasn't sure. So just a lot of things happening on that, and that's why they kind of where this initiated from. So just thoughts on that for you, and let me know. You can let staff know. And I know you're talking about the project on the former Vaughn's property. I haven't called back. I just got a voicemail from the owner. I've been working with him. I might have mentioned to you for the last 1.5 years, 2 years. They've got to get Tesla chargers there. When I work at AQMD, I work closely with Tesla getting chargers in West Covina, Sierra Madre soon, because they used to call this a desert. So we're trying. I had meetings, brought them in before you probably read the papers last 2 days. Their entire supercharger staff of 500 people was eliminated. So I've got 2 desperation calls from the owner. I'm not sure what it's about. We've been working for 1.5 years to get Tesla chargers when it opens. And I know they're going through the planning process. I'm not sure where it's at. So I'm going to return this call. Hopefully that's because it's in process. I hope it wasn't axed with the other people that were axed. Any questions? I'd be happy to answer, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. There's no other comments. We can now move on.
I have one.
Oh, you do?
Should we give our opinion in what format? Should we send emails about our point of view regarding the commissions and the potential to combine certain commissions?
And city manager office will be conducting a survey to
Okay.
all the commission, and also I think their plan is to couple things. One is to individual survey, and also other potential meetings or one-on-one phone calls. But I think you don't have to wait for that. I think you have a thought. I think definitely let me know. I can pass on to the city manager office because they're the one kind of conducting the overall kind of analysis.
Okay.
But you don't have to wait for that. Definitely something you can send it to me. I can share with city manager office. I think,
Yeah, Matt, and again, if you can put it in writing so it's a public record, we can put it in the staff report. that'd be great, besides talking in person, just as confirms our, because we'd like to see it and discuss it, and I can use that as evidence that here's what the people in the front lines are telling us, let's listen to them.
Great,
I've received surveys from city manager, yeah, about being on the board.
I don't think I received it yet.
Yeah,
I received it as well.
Did you? I don't know.
I filled it out, yeah. It
Alright.
was like a few weeks ago, I think.
I think there was a survey,
There was a survey about how are
in
things
April,
going,
yes.
but it didn't ask specifically about combining.
no, I
No,
think-
it was
Okay,
just
okay.
asking about our, like, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Like being on this board.
Okay, and was that survey, the intent of it was regarding this issue and the
I think
combination?
This is a beginning of
Or like-
understanding like what council
Okay.
directions, but also get some data for the council. But the plan is to have city manager office staff to have a broader kind of survey, because have more questions, more could be a one-on-one interaction with the commissioner board member if he or she doesn't feel like speaking out in a group setting. So I think it'll be a kind of continued outreach to each board and commission. as well.
Okay,
But I think
okay.
if you have any individual comments, you can just go ahead and send it to me. You don't have to wait until then, I guess.
Okay, great, thanks. That's all my comments.
Okay. We now can move on to comments from our design review board members. Are there any comments from the board?
No.
And I don't have any as well. We now move on to comments from our subcommittees. Are there any comments from our subcommittee? We had one, but that was approved today, so I have no comment.
None?
Okay, thank you, board members. And we now are moving on to comments from staff.
Thank you, Vice Chair Tsai and members of the board. Staff has several updates. One is definitely put a calendar reminder regarding the June 20 Commissioner Congress, which is be on Thursday. I don't remember the time. I think there's 6 or 6:30, but definitely put a reminder on your calendars. And second of all, I think kind of want to give you an update on the Trader Joe's. And I know the project is still ongoing for construction, and the Trader Joe group will be continue selling the alcohol beverages like the previous font side. So what happens? A conditional use permit will be required. So we're taking Trader Joe's conditional use permit for the selling of beer and wine to the Planning Commission at the next Planning Commission meeting, which will be May 14th. So it'll be kind of similar products as they purchasing for off-site consumptions. So, and at the next Planning Commission meeting in 2 weeks, staff also presenting kind of continue housing element related matter to kind of update our municipal code and also downtown specific plan to have some code cleanup. So in hoping that we can finally get a certification from HCD for our housing element. So in 2 weeks, the planning commission will hear the Trader Joe conditional use permit, also a zoning code amendment regarding kind of facilitating hopefully we can get HCD certification related. And one last item, I think, is kind of continue staffing update. I know last time we met in March, we lost Mackenzie Goldberg, and sad to announce that we also lost Sandra Robles last week. And so staff will continue to find way to get project moving, present it to you for your further consideration, and we'll definitely try to avoid the situation we had a couple years ago before my time here. So none of us want to have any backlog project. So we'll continue to push forward, find a way to increase our efficiency, but also bring project to your body and also other commission for kind of for delivery for consideration. And that's all I have today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt. And I guess I like to adjourn to the regular design review board meeting scheduled for this Thursday, June 6th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. The time is 7:25 p.m.